Everybody's talking about the laptop lifestyle, right? But nobody's talking about the early mornings you have to wake up, the late nights. Nobody's talking about the mental breakdowns or the relationship breakups or the entire emotional roller coaster ride, right? And so let's talk about the truth that they don't post on the gram, okay? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how they lied to you, the dark side of online business ownership or business ownership altogether, right? And we're going to expose some of the truths that you might not know. And I want to dive deep into those realities for you today. Okay. Now, let me preface this conversation by saying this isn't a video that's meant to discourage you. It really and truly isn't. Okay. I deeply care about you. I really and truly do. And I wish half the time when I'm talking to you in these videos, I'm also talking to the self that I once was, right? So back when I started my business in 2016, I wish I had somebody like me talking to me, telling me the truth of what it is, and not all of these vanity metrics and all of these things that are now being exposed. And now that they have been exposed to me and I know the truth, I'm going to share them with you. Okay. So we're in this journey together, completely together. And so rather than this being a video that discourages you, it is really to educate and empower you so that, here I am really lifting the veil and giving you the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be able to walk into business ownership and make an informed decision, not be delusional. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is the market or the online space is an oversaturated space, but not in the way you think. It's oversaturated with a bunch of hype. Do you know what I'm saying? False promises of easy money and overnight success stories and six-figure months and record time. And it's just like, come on now. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it, knock it off already. Many coaches are out here selling the dream that they themselves have not even mastered, that they themselves have not even yet achieved. They still have that fake it till you make it syndrome. And I don't like to live by that philosophy. Although in the beginning I was taught that, I bought into it and I lived it as well. And I also regurgitated that same crap. And now that I know better, I do better, right? And isn't that the saying? When we know better, we do better. And when we each one teach one, right? So I am teaching you what I've learned over the years. And what I can tell you for sure is that here's an old adage that you can get with. Here's a quote that I like to share with you that you're familiar with. And that is, if it sounds too good to be true, you finish the rest. It probably is, right? It's so very true. So gone are the days where you have to fake it till you make it. What we need to be doing instead, and the philosophy that I live by now, is that we need to be it until we become it. Okay. And so it does take a lot of time, a lot of strategy and sacrifice, even to get there. It's going to be a steep learning curve, right? I've been in this game for 8+ years. In fact, this year, as of the beginning of this year in January, for this year, I have been in business, this particular business, since 2016. So 9 years, okay? This is not a get rich quick scheme or scam. And while I'm not trying to get quick rich slow, okay, I do want to get rich quick. It's not a scheme or a scam, period, okay? I have put in a lot of sweat equity. I really and truly have. I have lost my marriage. I have had health issues and I have cut ties with friends. And not so long ago, I was drowning in debt. Okay. So, how's that for a dose of truth? Okay. And I'm not ashamed of that. That was all a part of it. That was a part of my journey. It's not a part of everyone's journey, but it is something that is common. Okay. And the unfortunate thing is we don't normalize these conversations. Oh, yeah, we don't mind boasting about and putting out there our public successes, but nobody really likes to disclose or pull back the black curtains on their private failures. But it's happening to the best of us. And so I want to be one of the first to pioneer this. I am a legacy leader. That's what I deem myself. And I am creating other legacy leaders. Okay. And I want to let you know what time it really is. Okay. And so I had to find my way out, dig myself out of those holes. Right. And I'll tell you something else. It takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a whole lot of investments. Okay. In your personal life and in your professional life as well, in, investing back into your business and your learning. Okay. So, and so your personal and professional training can take as long as it's going to take, you know what I mean? And that is an investment you'll have to make if you want to evolve as a person, as a woman, as a business owner. Do you know what I'm saying? So it can also feel very lonely. It can also, there's a lot of inconsistencies, right? You're doing a lot of the wrong things in the wrong order. You're investing in the wrong courses, the wrong coaches at the wrong time. Like, you don't know your rights, as I like to say, right? You don't know what to do and when and how and 1, 2, 3, ABC. And you're usually being sold something that you don't know you need or not need in the moment. It sounds good. It sounds like something you need, but why are you learning marketing before you even know your business model, right? Why are you learning? Why are you doing all of these different things that, are just completely out of order before you've done steps 1 through 5? You're already on steps 6 through 10. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what ends up happening a lot of times for many newbies, especially. And so, even if you're a seasoned entrepreneur, if you've missed some of those steps from the beginning, this is going to be a great refresher for you, right? Just to kind of remind you that, sometimes you got to just go back to basics and figure it out, because you need to establish a solid foundation first before you can really build, because the business is really about building blocks, okay? And you do need to really find the right coach who's going to be the right fit for you at the right time and meet you where you are in the journey. Okay. And that's what I pride myself on. So a lot of what I do today is because of what I've learned along the way. And had it not been for that journey that I was taken through, had it not been for those experiences that I was taken through, right, that was a part of my path on my journey to freedom, then I would have not known today, what I now know, and I wouldn't be able to share it with you. But had I known then what I know now, I definitely would have done things differently. And that's a fact. So you will have to heal to succeed. And I know a lot of people have a problem with the word heal, because that's to indicate in their mind that something's wrong with them, wrong. And it's just not true. And that in and of itself speaks to the trauma that you have, right? To think that you don't need healing. And unhealed trauma shows up in business. And the way it shows up in business is through procrastination, through being a perfectionist, an overachiever, undercharging, overgiving, overcommitting, being overburdened. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things, like in this, that falls into the realm of what I'm talking about right now. This, anything like that that describes where you might be right now. These things are exactly what continues to show up for you in work as well. But and so you may have had, jobs that seem to be like you're stuck in a rut, or you continue to be attracted to jobs that treat you like crap, right? And maybe you keep finding yourself in a toxic work environment. And maybe you keep finding yourself, in a hostile work environment, right? Or maybe you just keep sticking around for a job that no longer serves you. And oftentimes, what you don't realize is that stems from your childhood, your upbringing, or somewhere in your life that you didn't heal that trauma or that inner child, and the wounds are still there, right? So you're easily triggered. And as you show up in business, you'll find that the same thing is true, especially if you're a woman who has ever been, and say, for example, one of many examples, an abusive relationship, right? Any sort of domestic violence or anything like that. You might find yourself someone who can more easily tolerate being in a toxic work environment and not fighting back and not learning your rights and not doing something about it. You know what I'm saying? So you stay, or you keep going back, or you keep finding another job that treats you, grass looks greener on the other side, just like a new relationship. And you get there and you realize that they're going to treat you the same way, if not worse. So in business, it's the same way. So if you don't heal that trauma early on, as soon as you start recognizing the signs, it's going to follow you in various aspects of your life. So you cannot build a sustainable business on broken beliefs. And that's why it's so important to do the work that I do. And that is why I switched gears from just being a career transition coach and startup business expert, which is what I started off as. And now I am a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator. And I am here to help you to heal internally so that you can expedite your external success I help you to leave a toxic or hostile work environment or just a career that no longer serves you, okay? Because some people are not stuck in a toxic work environment, and that's cool too. But maybe you just feel called to do more, right? And I also teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. So I'm about prioritizing your health, healing, and happiness now. And a lot of times people start a business and then they work their life around the business as opposed to the other way around. I don't teach that anymore. I made that mistake. It was a big mistake and a heavy price to pay. And I now have found myself in a place where I will never, ever allow anything to come before my health, healing, and happiness. And I will never, ever put my business needs and all of that before my own personal and life needs, right? And the needs of my family. So, it's like I said, it's an emotional roller coaster. We learn by trial and error. It's so important to do this work because I really care about the whole you. Any area of your life that's impacted in a negative way is going to affect your business and your bottom line. So we can't deal with just transitioning you out of your bad job, right? We can't just deal with helping you start and sustain a successful business or set you up to scale. We also have to deal with you as a person, the individual you, the whole multi-dimensional you, the multi-passionate, multi-talented you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so self-care is a real strategy and mindset work is a non-negotiable. We have to heal, okay? So here's what I want to say. When in the beginning, especially in the beginning, you will wear all of the hats and you'll do all the things. And it's not sexy, it's not pretty, it doesn't feel good. Okay. In the beginning, I want to emphasize that. But as you learn and grow and evolve, as I said earlier, you learn better, you do better. Okay. So, but in the beginning, do expect to be the CEO, the COO, the CXO, the CFO, the coach, the consultant, the content creator, right? The social media manager, the admin person, the tech support, the marketer, the sales team, all the things. You're going to be wearing multiple hats, right? And you're going to be pulled in a lot of direction and you're going to feel stretched very thin. But that's not going to last long. It's just until you have the revenue to outsource, to delegate, to automate, okay, to get real systems into place and to better structure your business. Okay. But until then, the grind is real. Okay. In the beginning, you may very well be burning both ends of the stick. Okay. You'll be burning the midnight oil and then some. And so, it is what it is until it ain't. Okay. So just accept it for that and know it's temporary. And the job that you're in fact, is also temporary. It is the temporary assignment that you are doing that's going to groom and prep you for the real permanent work that you are here to do, that God called you to do. And our Creator has always designed us for something greater. But sometimes your time is not now, right? I always say that our deadline does not match God's timeline. So you just have to take it for what it is and go at your pace. And when it's your time to shine, you will. Okay. Just have trust in the process and pray through the process. Okay. And continue to roll up your sleeves and do the work. You can't stop doing the work because faith without work is dead. Okay. So make sure that is what you're doing all the time. So now, burnout is real. It is a real thing, okay? But so is the freedom, okay? When you get to the other side of your transformation, it will have been worth it, okay? No, it wouldn't have been worth it for all of the losses, but let's focus on what you have gained and maintain an attitude of gratitude in that, okay? So be really solid on what your core values are because in your why, be deeply rooted and connected to your why because it is going to be what keeps you lifted up. And when you don't find yourself motivated or disciplined as you should be and down in the dumps and sad and somber and you're just like over it and ready to throw in the towel, it is going to be your why that propels you forward. That's going to pull your heartstrings. That's going to tap on your shoulders, whisper in your ear and remind you, hey, this is why you're doing what you're doing. So be really solid on that and have a really deep, profound why, okay? Not just superficial BS, a real deep why. What is your real reason for doing what you're doing? Remember that. always. Because as you continue to tread uphill, those uphill battles, those steep terrains, those muddy waters, the stumble and bumble and the fumbling you're going to be doing on those rocky roads, right? The deep waters, all of that and then some. And then don't forget that whole emotional roller coaster that will make you sick because it's going to dip and dive and twist and turn. And life is going to keep lifing and ebbing and flowing. And you listen, it might even sucker punch you like it did me back in 2020. Okay. And if you don't know about that, I share that on another video when I talk about the dreaded D's, but I digress. But all I'm saying is be prepared, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And there will be times that there are going to be unforeseen circumstances that happen, things that arise that are out of your control. Focus on what you can control and and life is like 90% of what or I would say 10% of what happens to us, but 90% is how we respond to it. So make sure that you're responding in gratitude. Learn the lessons while you're in the valley, okay? Because there's value there, okay? And then as you climb up the hill on your way to the mountaintop, you're going to be able to look down one day and realize, oh, that's why I was there. That's why I was rock bottom at that place. That's where I hit my lowest point. And here's what I learned from it. And then you'll be able to do like I am with you today and teach others to do the same and send the elevator back down and bring those people up with you. Okay. The power of words is amazing, isn't it? And so is all of the learning lessons. So learn whatever the lesson is so you can move on and not have to keep repeating the lesson. Because the funny thing about life is you're going to keep getting a multiple choice test, right? And just depending on what you choose, not necessarily right or wrong, but whatever answer you go with, that's going to veer you in a direction that you may or may not need to be on. So let's make sure we're staying on our path to freedom and learning the value in the lesson while we can, so that we can move forward with ease and grace and not take up so much time repeating our mistakes. You follow what I'm saying? I hope this is helping you so far. And if you're getting value, by the way, from this video and you're enjoying my content, then be sure right now that if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I would love to know what's been most helpful for you, what's resonating with you, what's pulling on those heartstrings, and what are you going to do differently as a result of listening to my voice today and the message that I'm delivering to you today. I also want you to know it is absolutely worth it. So I get this question a lot. After all of that, Coach Katrina, is it still worth it? And my answer is always yes. Now, like I said, it's worth it because of the freedom that exists on the other side that is waiting to embrace you and the abundant life that you are already living in that you don't even realize it because you're so focused on the problems. Let's focus on the solutions, right? And getting out of the problems and envisioning ourselves already there and acting as though we already received it. It is our blessing to have, and nobody can stop God's plan, okay? Not even you know who himself, okay? Oh, I got a little gnat friend here with me. Okay. And so I want you to know, yes, it is worth it. Let's go ahead and it's worth it because you're going to be able to reclaim your time, your energy, and most importantly, your life. The vision is valid. You just need the right strategy and support system. So if you're struggling right now, it's because more than likely you're missing the strategies, the right strategies. You're doing things in the wrong order. You don't have a coach on your team, and you don't have the right support system, right? So let's get off the struggle bus and onto the abundance limousine, okay? So we have something to celebrate. And I would advise you to definitely hire a coach that's fitting to you and your needs and meeting you where you are in the journey. If I'm that coach for you, you can feel free to hop on a call with me. I will have the multiple links pinned in the comments so that you can choose which one is the best fit for you as far as where you are in the journey and how I might be able to best support you. But I also want to offer you my ebook, Mindset Mastery, right? This is the 5 pillars of entrepreneurial success that every entrepreneur needs. And it is a PDF guide that's interactive and it will get you to your next level. It's going to talk a lot about imposter syndrome being a scam, because it is. And I don't want you to buy into that crap, but it is a real thing that does happen to the best of us, right? Imposter syndrome. So it's the truth that nobody gave me when I first started. So I wrote this with you in mind. The other thing I want to urge you to do, and it's a serious call to action because we're running out of time as of this recording, We are, if you're serious about ditching the 9 to 5, corporate America, the golden handcuffs, the corporate plantation, a toxic or hostile work environment, or again, a job that no longer serves you, one of two things. The first thing and the most important thing, because it's time sensitive, and that is if you're going to need to be at the 2025 Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black women, okay? I want you to grab your seats, reserve your seats, get your tickets today because we only have about a week left. Tickets are on sale right now. That sale expires on April 15th, which is an easy date to remember because it's our tax deadline, right? So make sure that you get in where you fit in, okay? And that's right now. Now, I know sometimes we say, oh, I'll just do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And then later never comes, right? So we need to be in the moment of right now. We need to live in the right now moment because the present is really a gift. And this is a gift we're giving you. And if you get tickets right now while they're on sale, you're going to get a pretty good discount. You're also, I would advise you to get the all access pass so that you can get access to all of the replays and the 3 to 5 bonuses that we're offering. It's going to be amazing. You absolutely need to show up live and invite your bestie, your colleagues, your sister girls, your good girlfriends, your entrepreneur entourage, somebody, anybody, everybody that you can think of to be in the room. Let's go ahead and make this one big party. I'll also leave a link in the pinned post for that. So you can click it right away as soon as we're done here and go ahead and grab your tickets, okay? Now, I wanted to make sure there's no other announcements I need to make, but if there is, I'll be sure to just pin all of that information for you and all that jazz in the comments so that you can just get what you need and what you came for, okay? Just as a friendly reminder. But every video that I'm doing as of now until the actual summit occurs, which is going to be May 16th through 18th, is a 3-day event. And I'm actually going to be talking on liberation and longevity. Basically, how can you ensure wellness beyond the toxic workplace? So that's going to be my discussion on Sunday, but we have 15 plus amazing, dynamic, phenomenal, beautiful, brilliant brains of Black queens who's going to be pouring life into you. So I do hope that you found value in this today. And if you did, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode whenever I drop new content, which is 3 times a week as of this recording. Okay, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, same time, same place. And make sure you hit the notification bell also because I do go live, all right? I just finished doing a 90-day series. You can go back and catch any of those live stream replays for the Resuscitation Room or the daily dose of vitamin D3. But either way, there's lots of content here. Like I said, I'm about meeting you where you are. So I'm sure you can find something that is applicable to you right now. So with that all said, I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and make sure you watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.